at the current moment, we can trade crypto with one another. We can buy and sell goods and services with crypto. We just did a call yesterday with Liberty Dollar. They have a really cool platform that allows you to transfer these notes, basically these digital notes that are backed by silver. They also have little redeemable paper thing. That's another thing that could be used. People can barter with one another. People can meet in person and trade cash while that's still a thing. So the long and short of it is, everybody that's listening to this stream right now, it's up to each and every one of us to build out these alternatives. And that's what I hope to teach people through Live Free Academy with the Greater Reset, Lay-In Summit. The work Bradley's doing is building out these organizations that can give us a footing to build upon. But it's really up to each and every one of us. And so again, there's frustration. We feel like, God, it's so hard to operate outside the system. That's because God or whatever, the universe or the future generations, are counting on us to put in the work so our progeny, the next generations, don't have to. They don't have to be born and enslaved into a birth certificate. And if you think we got it bad, being born with this fraudulent birth certificate that's like a security and it's traded or whatever the hell's going on with that, we got this Social Security Ponzi scheme, we got this income tax system. Imagine what it's going to be like maybe 2 generations down the road, maybe even 1, probably 2, if we don't act now and raise up the next generation to recognize this from the get-go, but more, maybe it's not more important, but of equal importance, to build the institutions, the systems that are necessary for them to be able to live a high standard of living while operating outside of this beast technocracy system, then the young ones in the future are going to be born not only with the birth certificate, but also with the digital ID. Maybe they'll even be chipped at a young age as their body develops. I don't think it'd be wise to chip an infant, but maybe once they reach a certain level and then they replace the chip because they've outgrown that chip and they're an adult. And it's like 1984, a brave new world. That very well, that's the reality in China right now. On this planet, our fellow human beings, our brothers and sisters, they're quite far away and we don't see a whole lot about them except through the alternative media or some whitewashed BS on the news. But that is the reality now on this planet. And the only thing from stopping that from coming to you or your children or your great grandchildren is you doing something about it. And that's what we're trying to do. And we don't know exactly how to do it. We're all figuring it out as we go. But we need more people to take action and to leverage the frustration, to leverage the anger, and let it fuel our fire to push forward and make big change in this world. Because like I said, we are the ones that we've been waiting for.
And something I would add to Jill's statement about, what is it that we can do? It's just coming to these calls, being involved in a community like this, having conversations with others. This is what empowers us. This is what reminds us about the matrix so we don't slip back into that hypnotic trance and we're taking action. So that's what I think you're saying. I mean, I fully resonates with me. I mean, where I'm at today versus where I was about 8 years ago when I came into this arena or this understanding.
He's a real extremist now.
Yeah, but it happens over time. I mean, it's not like you become aware and all of a sudden you have the solutions tomorrow. You start something in your local circle, in your local community, using a platform like what John has provided here. There's a lot of other people that want to move this mission forward. And so you start doing something with you, maybe inside of a private membership association. You create your own way to barter and exchange with one another inside of that and see if that grows. Or if it gains legs and it's making sense, you bring it to John. You say, hey, John, what about, is there a way for this to become a part of this bigger thing that you're doing? And this is how these things organically grow. But the key to what you're saying is, and this is what the Matrix is counting on, is that we just sit there numb and dumb and take their handouts and we move into their smart city because they're going to give you so-called food, which is going to be processed. I mean, that's why we're numb and dumb, because they don't allow us access to food. People shop in their grocery stores and they buy all this packaged products that aren't real food. And then our bodies, our temples, aren't able to assimilate that in a way that keeps us connected to divine consciousness. And so start growing your own food. start, being more conscious of all the things we do. And one of them being the words that we use. Stop using matrix words, because subconsciously that keeps you stuck in that loop. Start looking for spiritual words or your own practice, meditating, prayer, writing, journaling about these things and seeking answers. And what I find is that new opportunities come to people, but they're not the opportunities of the old matrix. How do I make a profit? It's about, how do I serve my community? How do I engage more with my community and give of my service? And that energy starts to flow and it gains momentum. It's like a toroidal field, and it just picks up steam. And so I totally agree with you. Whatever you do, don't just sit there and say, well, it's too much, I got to keep doing the old thing. Step out, try something new, and see what God blesses you with.